Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the veins of the head and the neck, but I'm mainly going to just concentrate on of the neck here, and I want to work my way down to how these drain into the heart. So you can see we have like the temporal artery here, and we have the maxillary artery and the facial artery, but the main thing I'm concerned about here is these arteries in the neck. So if you look, we have the vertebral artery right here, and if you notice, the vertebral artery goes through the transverse process or the transverse foramen of the transverse process of the cervical spine. So if you recall, we had the vertebral artery also went up through this, up to the head. Now it's coming down into the brachiocephalic vein, which is down in here. We also have the external jugular, which is right here. The external jugular is one of the main veins that help drain blood from the head, and we have the internal jugular. So the let's go this way, the vertebral, the external jugular, and the internal jugular are going to meet up with the subclavian vein, and when they do, they're going to form the brachiocephalic vein. Okay, so that we're going to get the brachiocephalic vein. And then if you notice, I have another brachiocephalic vein on the other side, which is also coming in. And these are going to form the superior vena cava, which are going to drain into the right atrium. So let's take another look. This is what we were just talking about a second ago. We were actually dealing with this area right over in here. This here would be my vertebral artery. This would be my external jugular, and this would be my internal jugular. This would be my subclavian because it's coming over the clavicle. So this is the subclavian. This would be my axillary here. All right, so what's going to happen is these are going to form the brachiocephalic trunk or vein, which is right here. And if we look on this side, you may not be able to see it, but basically, again, I have my vertebral artery, which is in the middle. I have my external jugular, which is over here, and my internal jugular, which is here. My subclavian is here. So when we talked last time, we were talking about the axillary. Our vein is going to come up. Once it gets past the clavicle, it becomes the subclavian vein. And then once it gets to the internal and external jugular and the vertebral vein, it's going to become the brachiocephalic vein. So I have the brachiocephalic vein here on the left, the brachiocephalic vein here on the right, and then those two come together to form the subclavian vein. So let's go ahead and show you how to write all this in your notes.